Welcome everyone to the Sitshow with Krisko. As always, I'm here with the regaled Jeff Krisko. I'm not sure that's a word. Jeff, how are you today?
Living the dream.
Nice.
Got like 4 hours of sleep, so
What?
living the dream.
Well, why?
Because I closed my eyes and my brain did not shut off and initiate REM cycle. So I have
I'm
no idea.
sorry. I'm sorry.
um, so let's start talking football because I'm not really super interested in talking about that. We've got inactive reports going on right now. There's a lot of question marks. I'm just gonna go through here really quick. Atlanta Falcons, the only relevant inactive players, Corradelle Patterson for the Ravens. Odell Beckham, Justice Hill were already ruled out, as was Marlon Humphrey. Tyler Linderbaum, Ronnie Stanley is a problem for the Ravens, as 40% of their offensive line, good 40% are going to be out for this one. For the Bills, nobody value or of fantasy relevance is missing. Same with the Browns. For the Broncos, same thing except Justin Simmons will be out, so that means good things for the Miami Dolphins. For the Detroit Lions, David Montgomery is officially inactive. Pretty much knew that was going to happen, but also relevant. Taylor Decker and Big V, Hala Vaitai is going to be missing the game as well. Um, for the Packers, no Jair Alexander, no David Bakhtiari, no Elkton Jenkins. More importantly for fantasy, no Aaron Jones or no Christian Watson. I spent 10 minutes swapping out Aaron Jones this morning. Christian Watson has 3 straight inactives to start his year where he was supposed to be a top 20 wide receiver for a lot of people who were wish casting. I don't think that's going to happen. For the Texans, Case Keenum is out. As is Dare Ogunbowale, and more importantly, Laramie Tunsil is out, and Jalen Petrie. For the Colts, Anthony Richardson officially inactive. He was declared inactive a couple days ago. Center Ryan Kelly also inactive, both dealing with concussions. For the Jags, Zay Jones, Jermichael Hasty, both out. For the Chargers, Austin Ekeler officially inactive, though he was ruled out yesterday. J.C. Jackson, cornerback, is going to be missing the game. For the Dolphins, Salvon Ahmed, Eric Ezukanma, Tyler Croft, and Jaylen Waddle, most importantly, will be missing the game. For the Vikings, as expected, Cam Akers is inactive. Also inactive, Garrett Bradbury. So that's going to be trouble for that up the middle pressure on Kirk Cousins. For the Patriots, Keyshawn Booty, Will Greer, both inactive. For the Saints, Foster Moreau inactive. That was declared yesterday. For the Jets, no Izzy Abanikanda. For the Titans, no Peter Skoronsky. That's probably the most impactful missing person. For the Commanders, no Logan Thomas, but that was announced yesterday. So let's get this party started.
You know, when Diggs went down for Dallas and they were freaking out, I was like, as a Ravens fan, it's weird to see other teams where I'm like, what, 7 of your stars aren't out by this time every year? Because that's just normal. Like, what?
No, the Ravens don't. They're not down 7 starters. They're just down to their 8th string running back usually.
That, yeah. So that was annoying. Hey, how you feeling about your Niners?
3-0. Find me another team in the league with 3 wins. I dare you. I fucking dare you.
That's true.
You can't. Undefeated, baby.
Very
3 and
true.
0.
What's up, Deck? You glad you're in the chat.
Never in
How's it
doubt.
going across the pond?
Definitely wasn't panicking.
Yeah. Uh, Aaron Jones being out, I think, is the big news for the morning.
Yeah, I would say that Aaron Jones and Christian Watson. I think that's a huge downgrade for the Packers across the board because those are the only 2 guys worth it. AJ Dillon looked bad last week. On the podcast, we always talk about how there's a thin line between a plotter and a bruiser, and it's one game. It's um too soon to say that he's crossed that line, but I'm starting to worry about it.
Yeah, and Minnie P points out Liverpool has 5 wins. We got a lot of UK in the chat, and we also have our first question. Maverick Waterman, what's up? Need three of these guys. Three of these guys. Start three. Gus Edwards, Madison, Williams, Kelly, Higgins, Godwin, full PPR. That's Kyron Williams. So need 3 full point PPR. Gus Edwards, Madison, Kyron Williams, Kelly, Higgins, Godwin.
Okay. Hold on. I gotta look up who these guys are playing. Not sure that off the top of my head. Just give me one moment here. So we've got Gus Bus. Gus Bus is go. You said full PPR. Gus Bus is going up against
Colts.
the Colts. I think that'll be a passing game, which just didn't mean Gus.
The
Madison going up
hurricane got downgraded to like just kind of rainy.
I don't worry about that.
I worried
It's
about it all weekend.
I would say Kieran Williams is a must start. Let's start there. So if that's Kyron Williams, then yeah, he's 1. Josh Kelly is 2. I think those guys will both do well this week. I think they're both like top 15 running backs. And then I would probably go Chris Godwin.
Got it. Got it in the chat. All right. All right. Thank you, Maverick Water, and good luck. Tony, I just, for the first time, this is on me. I just, for the first time, downloaded and listened to the TH Fantasy podcast. That is really good. Good Lord.
I appreciate Evan sounding surprised that one of our products is good.
I knew it was good, but it was really, really good. Now I'm hooked. Tony wants to know, again, that's the TH Fantasy Podcast. It's available where all good podcasts are sold. Good morning to you.
Also bad podcasts.
Yes, true. Anywhere. Guy on the street selling bunk fake podcasts will hook you up. Full PPR. Elijah Moore versus Tennessee or Tank Dell versus Jacksonville.
Let's go Tank, baby. Let's go upside. And I'm going to be on TH Fantasy on Friday, and so is Walker.
It's the big 100th episode show.
Yeah. I'm scared. My friends inside my phone, I'm going to talk to them. What was I going to say? I was going to tell a story, but I forget what it was. Oh, well.
About meeting somebody online in real life?
Oh, nah, we did that.
I've done that so many times.
I lost my debit card stone cold sober in New Orleans, which is shocking.
I don't remember that.
That was at that fish place we went to. That was like essentially like looked like a deli.
Yeah, that was a big place.
Yeah, I lost my card like stone cold sober. I called my wife. I told her she had to cancel the card and send a new one, and she's like, "How drunk are you?" I'm like, "Not at all." It's like
no. Welcome to the chat, The Ruined. First time on the chat. Well, welcome. Half point PPR. Need 2. So start 2 HPPR. Judy versus Miami. Burks versus Cleveland. Mingo versus Seattle.
All right, so I don't particularly care for Treylon Burks.
Mingo's over-under in Vegas was 3.5 receptions.
But yeah, Mingo. So Mingo, I think would have to. We're banking on the drastically new role for him with Andy Dalton. I'm not a huge fan of Treylon Burks, but we've already seen him do it. So I think just I would play it safe here and go with Judy and Burks because I'm not super like. I don't do ranks every week, but Mingo would be well outside my top 50. Walker Kelly does have ranks though. Let's see what Walker says about Mingo. Walker ranks the top 50, and Walker does not have Mingo ranked. Judy is wide receiver 26 for them, and Burks is wide receiver also not ranked. Walker does 50. Rashid Shaheed above.
I like Walker.
Treylon Burks.
As an auction guy, I like Walker. I don't have these guys. I get you auction. Minnie wants to know full PPR.
What's up, Minnie?
1 for RB, 1 for flex. Full PPR. Kelly versus Minnesota. Ramondre versus the Jets. Warren versus Las Vegas. Rashad versus the Eagles. 1 for RB, spot the other flex. So those are all running backs. So pick 2. Full PPR. Kelly versus Minnesota. Ramondre versus Jets. Warren versus Las Vegas. Rashad versus the Eagles.
I'm actually gonna go Kelly and Ramondre.
I'm definitely with you there.
But I think that Warren is gonna have a decent game, and I have to specify this is not because I'm one of those guys that's sitting there like shaking their fists at Najee Harris and being like, please
I am.
Get benched. No, Jaylen Warren is first in the league in targets per game at running back. He has 6 per game. He's tied with Karen Williams. The only person who has more is Christian McCaffrey, and he's played an extra game.
I'm definitely with Kylie and Ramondre there too.
Yeah,
Uh,
but Kelly and Ramondre are both good plays.
Tony says the first and only time I met Jeff was in real life at the Fantasy Expo in 2021, and both Trey Lance and Justin Fields looked great in their first preseason game, and all was right with the universe.
And so did Trey. And that was also when Waleed and Tony got very high, and I had to take them home. But yes, that was when I
Oh,
bought
that
my Trey
time.
Lance jersey.
Oh, that
Yes,
time. Yes, that one time.
yes. That was the only time I had to take them home.
They live a long way away,
Speaking,
don't they?
no, I didn't take them home to Chicago. I took them home to
Okay.
their hotel.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of too high, Walker took an edible before the podcast on Friday.
I remember.
Walker says, you'll know when it hits me. And then about 25 minutes in the podcast, Walker's just sitting there and goes, does my hair look like ramen noodles?
That was the best part. I did listen to that, yes. And you're all like, well, yep, there it is.
Yep, there it is. Edible hit you.
All right. Okay, PPR. Addison versus the Chargers. Bateman versus the Colts. Reynolds versus Atlanta. Okay, this is nuanced, so listen to the whole thing. Addison versus Chargers, Bateman versus the Colts, Reynolds versus Atlanta, or Rashid Shaheed versus Green Bay. Any of those over Ramondre/Kelly. For me, I'm weighing Addison versus Kelly here. Is that right? PPR?
I would say it's either Addison or Kelly, but I would stick with both Ramondre and Kelly because they have defined roles. And I've been a big Jordan Addison cheerleader so far this year, but so much of what Addison has done has been long touchdown catches. So, that's the sort of thing that's not really you can't bank on it. So I'll take the consistency of what I believe Kelly to do, even though I'm a huge Jordan Addison fan.
Also, because even though the Storm got downgraded, it's still planning to hit the Jets Patriots game. So I want their pass catching running back in that situation.
I want. What's that?
What?
I was gonna say I want there to be no rain on the football game if we just could decide what we want.
I don't know. I kind of like the recall of people being like, "What happens if there's a storm? What happens if there's a different storm?" And I'm like, "Oh, let me just think about this. Hold on." Huh.
Hey, what's funny about the storms is it's like we do this all the time, and every time they're like, "Yeah, just the big problem is wind," and people never talk about wind. They always talk about the how sludgy the field's gonna be.
Yeah. All right. Ghost
Which
wants to know.
honestly, being the thing is like sludgy fields and snow fields, you have to figure that benefits the offense because think about this. Think about you're in sludge or you're in snow, and you know where you want to go. Is that easier than trying to be in snow and react to what somebody else is doing? I would think so. So that's just my take on it, and that's
having chased after my kids in snow. Yeah. I'd rather be the
yeah.
one running into traffic than the one trying to get you out of traffic.
Yeah, and also it's 2023. The field does not get snowy except in very specific. We remember snow games. We remember Megatron with the snow in his face mask. We remember these things, and we act like we act like it's the snowpocalypse or that it's going to be horrible every time something happens. But it'll be fine. Trust me.
Okay,
Snow games are great.
Ghost has been waiting patiently for this. Appreciate it. Is it worth putting Kirk, that's Christian Kirk, in my wide receiver spot today, and then choosing between Puka or Kyren in my flex on Monday? They're worried about keeping Puka in their wide receiver spot and then getting hit with a surprise out. Oh yeah.
I would say
keep your flex open.
Yeah, I mean, if you're worried about that, you can keep your flex open. Personally, I'm just rocking with Puka. I'm not super worried about this Puka thing, but we have seen surprise outs happen before. And if Puka can't go, then that means that Karen Williams is going to get a ton of targets again. So sure, that's a perfectly viable strategy.
That's the beauty of flex. Always postpone your flex as late as possible.
No, put your Thursday night guys in the flex and assert dominance. That's my strategy.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm answering your question in the chat, but it says I have too many characters, which is stupid because it's my damn broadcast. Let me do whatever I want. All right. So now we got one.
Oh,
Yes.
I was gonna say, remind me to talk about this stupid decision for the Super Bowl halftime when we have a break.
Cool. We won't have one for a minute because we got questions. AK Magic,
Let's go.
welcome, wants to know pick two running backs in full PPR. Algier at Detroit, Madison versus the Chargers, Warren at Las Vegas.
I'm gonna go Madison and Warren because of the PPR aspect. Like I said, Warren leads running backs in targets so far, targets per game. So,
You said Madison and Warren for PPR?
yep.
Because
Personally, I would just like to go back to that flex question. If you're worried about Puka, personally, I'm not, but I understand the trepidation. You might leave a few points on the table, but it is what it is.
I'm not a fan of these two Monday night games.
Oh, they suck, especially because I can't leave work until like after the second one has started.
Yeah. I'm like picking my kids up from school and other parents are asking me PTA questions. I'm like, sorry, I'm watching some random game. And they're like, well, that guy's an asshole. I'm like, no, I gotta do this. Um,
Yeah.
all right, Aaron is double checking their lineup. Half PPR, two wide receivers, two running backs, and two flex. Okay.
Okay.
I'm looking for a question here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so there's currently starting Mike Williams, Mostert, Najee, and Kyron Williams. Should they move in Madison, Christian Kirk, or Flowers for any of those guys?
Um, I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to.
Yeah, that's a tough. We're thinking. We're thinking right now.
I want to get Zay. I want to get Zay Flowers in there because the Indy pass defense has been pretty bad.
That's exactly where I am too.
But I'm not sure where to put him.
Mike Williams, Mostert
No, because
versus Denver,
the Minnesota pass defense is ass too. It might be.
Najee.
It might be Najee. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is Najee, you know, the the Steelers are not using him. They're like letting him and Warren split 18 touches a game, but Warren's getting all the targets. So, yeah, I would probably say
I like pivoting away from Najee right now. I'd be
yeah.
happy for
I
a nice
mean,
pivot.
yeah, Flowers should be like a top 25, top 30 wide receiver for you. So I think that's a good pivot to go to. So yeah, I would go with get Najee out of there and get Zay Flowers in there. I think that Christian Kirk can stay on the bench. Yeah, Najee does make me nervous as well, Aaron. It's just I'm not sure what the Steelers are doing. It feels like they're fighting their instinct, which is to have a bell cow back. And then it's just they're going
They're
too far the
trying to
other
make
direction.
Pickett happen, and it's like, dude, you picked him in like the third round or some nonsense.
Oh, Matt Canada is going to get more involved with Kenny Pickett, though.
Oh God, that was a horrible press release.
Yeah.
It came off
I
like we weren't letting him talk to the quarterback, and now we're promoting him to you can talk to the quarterback. It's like what? What? Huh?
yeah. Well, it was. Is this my take on it was? Is this a threat? Like,
Yeah,
get Matt Canada more involved. Is this a threat?
yeah. It's not good. Half PPR. Kelly versus the Viking. Pick two. Half PPR. Kelly versus the Vikings. Henry versus the Titans. McKinnon versus Chicago. Chandler versus the Chargers.
Chandler? Not him.
Not. It's Kelly and Henry, right?
Yeah, it's Kelly and Henry.
Yeah. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, Kelly is like a top 15 play. Let me see where Kelly ranks for Walker. Walker has Josh Kelly at 41, but also Walker, I believe, has Austin Ekeler playing. So, Austin Ekeler was ranked second for Walker, so I'm gonna channel Walker and say that I'm gonna say that Kelly ends up 16.
Okay. AK, that's decent. That's startable. AK Magic
Yeah.
wants to know, do you play Algier over Addison or London in full PPR? I currently have Addison. Oh, if you're starting one, just Addison in full PPR, right?
Say that. Oh, where is it? Play. Um, I would say Addison. I don't
Yeah.
know what the Falcons are doing. And Fatty McFats is channeling Cornholio.
He does need more two
Need
TO for my
PP.
bunghole.
He needs PP for his bunghole.
Okay. He needs TO for his bunghole. I think he needs
He
Terrell
needs
Owens.
Terrell Owens.
Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. Um, let's see. I'm not going to make any fecal jokes here. Warped, welcome to the chat. They're in a 12-team PPR league, and due to Saquon Barkley's injury, they're left with two options: Jaylen Warren or DeAndre Swift.
Well, I don't think we're gonna get the DeAndre Swift we had last week because Tampa Bay has a better run
I
defense.
don't
But
think
at the
we're ever
same
going to
time,
see that DeAndre Swift again. That was like,
no,
who are you? What are
no,
you
there was
doing?
a stat. I think it was JJ Zacharyson was talking about how he had 77% of snaps, which is something that Miles Sanders never did.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's not in their DNA. I would still go Swift though because he's a better football player than Jaylen Warren.
Yeah, and it's also the Jeff principle with like, think about Monday morning. Are you going to feel how are you going to feel if you start Warren and DeAndre Swift goes off, or you start DeAndre
Yes.
Swift and Warren goes off? If you start Warren and DeAndre Swift goes off, you're going to feel a lot worse because the blueprints were there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, if Warren, yeah, if Warren goes off on your bench, you're like, all right, I made the wrong play.
Yeah, I got a
But
new
if
bench
Swift
player.
goes,
That's cool.
yeah, if Swift goes off on your bench, you're like, God, I got too cute with this. Like, I
Yeah,
got way too
yeah.
cute trying to start Jaylen Warren.
Half PPR. Pick. Loving the questions today. Keep them coming. Half PPR. Pick two. Thielen versus Seattle. Kirk versus Houston. Bourne versus the Jets. And they put down Windy. Yes. Myers versus Pittsburgh. Shaheed versus Green Bay. So pick two. Thielen, Kirk, Bourne, Myers, Shaheed.
I'm gonna go Kirk. Uh, ooh, this is tough. This is a tough question. Pass.
Yes. Okay, that means it's me. I definitely go Kirk, and
Wow, I can
then
do that.
I guess Jakobi Myers is out of concussion protocol.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Let's
Myers.
kick the tires. Yeah, kick the tires. Go with Myers.
Yeah, these are. I'm gonna go. Yeah, Kirk and Myers. Yeah, Kirk and Myers. They're all kind of like high end wide receiver fours, though.
Also, Myers got blown up by a clearly targeting Sean, who's coach of the Denver Broncos? Sean Payton.
Peyton,
And so I'm rooting for anybody who gets targeted by that assassin.
look,
Uh,
we have personal beef with Sean Payton.
I should have eaten him when I
Yeah,
met
we
him.
have personal beef with Sean
Deck
Payton.
Hugh wants to know Ravens or Chiefs DST. Ravens are
Ravens or
facing the Colts. Chiefs are facing the Bears.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
They
Uh,
got Chandler Jones back last week, and they actually looked like a competent defense.
I'm rooting for the Ravens, and I can't name half the people they're starting on defense because they're so injured, as always.
Kyle Hamilton, Terrell Suggs, uh, Ray Lewis, Haloti Nada. Is this all correct?
No. Ray
Oh,
Lewis has been dead since 1932.
what?
All
By the way,
right.
there's a song. There's a song that has whatever. There's an athlete shout out. I get excited. There's a song that says they got me how I'm blowing up on lines. Haloti Nada. I'm like,
Is that a
got him
baseball
Raven.
player?
Got him Raven. How I'm blowing up on lines? No, it's a lineman for the Ravens.
Wow.
Haloti Nada.
Wow. I don't, I'm a bad fan. Uh, we have a
It was, to
pause.
be fair, he played for them when you were a Raiders fan.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. I just switched from Ravens to Raiders 2 seasons ago. After switching,
Gee,
the
what happened?
Ravens
What happened to the Raiders?
the Ravens went 0-4 to end the season and missed the playoffs, and the Raiders went 4-0 and made the playoffs in the most Evan thing possible. Uh, Jeff, you had an anecdote about like the Super Bowl or something?
Oh, I think Usher is a terrible call for the Super Bowl halftime show. when they had Justin Timberlake back, it was also a terrible halftime show. I just don't think that this type of like slow kind of poppy music, like kind of pseudo dance music, is great for a Super Bowl halftime show.
I missed
I
it. Was
just
Usher announced, confirmed?
Yeah, he was announced this morning.
Ah, well, that's
I
breaking
mean
news. Why didn't we
think
lead with
about
that? My
I don't
God,
know.
Usher's playing the Super Bowl, guys.
But like Rihanna, that was a banger halftime show, even though she was pregnant. Shakira J-Lo was a good one. I don't even remember the one between them.
It was the weekend. No,
Oh,
that
The
was
Weeknd.
before. No,
See,
that was
that's the
before
same
Shakira
thing.
J Lo. It
That one
was
was
Shakira,
boring.
J Lo.
Shakira and J-Lo was right before the pandemic because that was the 49ers Super Bowl. And that
Oh,
was the
okay.
one where you said your sons became men watching
Yeah,
that one.
that was. Oh, I
But
think
you
we can
like
all
go through
agree
this.
the best Super Bowl halftime show of all time was Coldplay. Decky wants to know who has the
Yeah,
most
Coldplay
upside.
sucked too. Huh?
The worst. Who has the most upside? DJ Chark, Downs, Juju, Dubs, Peoples Jones, Burks. I don't know, man.
I mean, the
You're picking up
most
you're
up.
picking up scratch off lottery tickets in a parking lot at this point.
I mean, Dubs had 2 touchdowns a couple weeks ago, so I guess that's the most upside. But like DPJ is clearly the third or fourth option on any play in Cleveland. Traylon Burks also had like a 70-yard catch like a week ago. Excuse me. For 1 week, I would say I have Josh Downs as a deep streamer this week. Fill a spot on your bench. I would say the one that have more consistent upside, I would probably say Traylon Burks is the one. If you're just trying to find a spot on your bench to see who blows up, I would say Traylon Burks is the only one that, if he had a big game, I would trust. Because DJ Chark, he's got the Andy Dalton factor. Josh Downs, he's got the um, Gardner Minshew factor. I think he's gonna have a good game this week just because they're gonna throw more. Juju, I mean, it's the Patriots. Romeo Dobbs, he had 2 touchdowns a couple weeks ago and then disappeared last week. DPJ is the third option on any given play, so you're rooting for an Elijah Moore or Amari Cooper injury. Even though Donovan Peoples-Jones is better than Elijah Moore. By the way, get Elijah Moore off your rosters. He sucks. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Yeah,
He's really bad. To quote friend of the show Kev, we have to have an uncomfortable Elijah Moore soon because he
the,
forgot the word conversation.
the Jets didn't want him. That should tell you a lot.
Aaron, like we talked about last week, Aaron Rodgers got there and was like, "Get that guy off my team!" Like as soon as he got there. Oh
Wait,
no, the one before Rihanna was the Dr. Dre one.
oh, that was
That's
good.
that halftime show was awesome.
That was good. Decky, you're saying that you can pick up Charbonnet in your 16-team league? Yes. Do
Charbonnet,
that.
Charbonnet is just a flyer though. Like if you're looking for upside, get him because Walker stays getting hurt, but you can't start him until he
No,
gets
no,
hurt.
no. Just for a stash. He's like stash of the year.
Yeah.
Fatty McFats wants to know is Moore bad or is Watson bad? And Decky, you already answered for us with yes.
Absolutely. That is correct.
Yes. Hate. I'm glad the Ravens play the Browns next week. Because hate watching Watson is my new favorite reality TV show.
I was, yeah, on Thursday last week. I think I mentioned it. I was like, God, I want this game to be over. Like, I don't want to be watching this game. Oh no, it was the Monday night game. So I mentioned it on the Patreon episode, and then I watched Alex Highsmith and T.J. Watt meet at Deshaun Watson and just smush him. And I was like, never mind, I could keep watching this
How do you get two face masking penalties as a quarterback?
because you're a bum. That's how. Dang, I gotta go back watch. So I've been scrolling through halftime shows.
Dad, guess what cat we found?
And there's some real questionable ones in here. Uh, but like I forgot that Katy Perry had Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott come out. Coldplay sucked. Lady Gaga ripped. Justin Timberlake sucked. Maroon 5 sucked.
How rad did you guys?
Let's see. Bruno Mars was okay. Beyonce was decent. Madonna wasn't great. Madonna had a ton of people come out for her. Oh my God. LMFAO, Cirque du Soleil, Nicki Minaj, MIA, and CeeLo Green. Hot diggity damn.
You forgot the chick from Paper Planes who flipped the bird.
I said MIA.
Okay, sorry. Deku, Pacheco, last I heard, was leaning towards playing, and that was
Pacheco
this
is
morning.
in, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pacheco should be playing. Let me look at Pacheco. I don't have Pacheco on any rosters. Oh my god. I pulled up my multi-league assistant, which if you play in a ton of leagues, not SpawnCon, but the Fantasy Pros multi-league assistant is like the only way to play because it
Okay.
tells you exactly where all your players are.
That is very useful for me. I will be checking that out.
Because
Uh,
I had 5 Aaron Jones I had to swap out.
yeah. Mini, I don't know. Mini says checking Algier, Roshan, Craig Reynolds over either, and I'm having trouble remembering who the either was. I think it's over Kirk and Myers.
So I would rank these guys Kirk, Algier, Myers, Roshan, Craig Reynolds.
Okay, so Algier over Myers. Uh, Fatty McFats wants to know, we're sitting Rashad Whites, right? I am not sitting my Rashad Whites because I have 0 shares of Rashad White because I hate Rashad White. And I even sat in my hotel room while on vacation to write a horribly negative player profile of Rashad White because I hate him so much.
uh, I am not a fan of Mr. Rashad White.
If you go to YouTube and type in Rashad White highlights, the first video has him catching a pass behind the line of scrimmage for 1 yard loss. Then the next video highlight is running into the line for a 0 yard gain. And I'm like, this is under highlights for Rashad White?
He's
Wow.
good, folks. Minnie says I meant Craig Reynolds over Algier or Roshan. There was a report this morning that they plan on like leaning on Jahmyr Gibbs a bunch in this game, so I probably would not go with Craig Reynolds. Volume greater than being bad. You're not wrong, Minnie. You're not wrong. That is the Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's made a whole career out of that.
That's true. You know, I had a stash to make yesterday morning in my 14 team big money league that Fatty commissions. And so I went with up and coming Indianapolis Colts running back Deion Jackson.
Never heard of him.
And then he got
you mean free agent running back?
yes, and then he got cut half
Deion
an hour
Jackson?
later. And I'm like, I did that. That was me. I totally did that.
Yeah. Yeah, with yeah, he got cut for Trey Sermon. Yeah, I wish I never heard of Deion Jackson too. Minnie, I'm gonna post that that report in the chat. It was this morning, a couple hours ago. So we should be good in that instance to leave Craig Reynolds on the bench.
I'm always looking for an excuse to leave Craig Reynolds on the bench. Let's see here. Are we all caught up?
We got Corn G 007, half PPR, Addison or Sanders. If it's Emmanuel Sanders, he is retired. I would start Jordan Addison over Emmanuel Sanders, but I would start Miles Sanders over Jordan Addison.
Yes. That Houston, wait, no, that Carolina offense might show up today.
I just think that he's just going to get a ton of targets from Andy Dalton.
True. I forgot Andy Dalton starting. I keep forgetting that.
Do you want to hear something that hurt my soul?
Yes, always.
When you think of Andy Dalton, what do you think of? What team?
Cincinnati.
They called him Journeyman Andy Dalton, and they're not wrong. I saw a report. He's been on 5 teams in 5 years.
Huh.
Welcome to the journeyman part of your career, Andy Dalton.
He should learn to announce.
He probably doesn't want to.
You know what I'm looking forward to the most today? And post in the chat. What are you looking forward to the most today for football? And I'll ask Jeff this in a second. Oh, go for it.
I was going to say, I'm looking forward to the Niners not being able to hurt me.
That's true. That's true. I'm looking forward to watching my Ravens with my sons play against the Colts, being led by Gardner, Delicious Stash Minshew. So I like rooting for that guy, and so it's a win-win situation.
Ooh, Corn G says Emmanuel Sanders. In that case, yeah, I definitely start Jordan Addison.
Fatty McFat's looking forward to Kansas City being up the Bears, but Fatty, you're a Bears fan. What the heck? And the Bears winning today would be the funniest thing of all time. So that's what I'm rooting for.
It would be very funny.
I remember on Thursday Night Forest Ball, there was a little small family emergency, and Annie's like, "Can you get off the air?" And I'm like, "Hold on, yeah, I can do this." Hey, Tony, Waleed, what's up with the Bears? And I just put my headset down and walked away for 20 minutes, and like I came back, they were still screaming.
Hey, I'm gonna buy a half hour. Is Justin Fields good? All right, I'm good for a while.
Yeah. Minnie wants to know a really deep question, which I assume means very philosophical. Trying to get to the mysteries of the universe.
Who
Craig
do I
Reynolds.
start? And is God dead?
Yes, yes, and yes. Craig Reynolds, Pierre Strong, Tony Jones. Who is Tony Jones? Tony Jones
Tony
Jr.
Jones is the Tony Jones is the father of a running back on the Saints who got 2 touchdowns last week.
Damian Harris. Pick one.
Good Lord. That is deep.
No, never milk before cereal. That's the dumbest thing ever.
No, never milk before cereal.
Always put
Because
the sauce at last. That's the rule, and it applies to this thing. Sauce at last.
Sauce at last. Sauce at last, sauce at last. Thank God Almighty. Sauce at last. I'm delaying because I don't want to answer this question. It's not Pierre Strong because he hasn't done anything. Decky's picking Pierre Strong and going to bed and crying himself to sleep. So if this is a stash, so if this is for this week, I'm going to answer for this week and then I'll answer stash. I'll rank all these guys. For this week, I would say Damian Harris. Damian Harris is tied with Latavius Murray for carries inside, or sorry, snaps inside the 10 for the Bills. I think that's what it is. It's either snaps or carries. He's getting a ton of touchdown opportunity. So I'd say for 1 week, I would go Damian Harris 1. Then I would go Tony Jones 2, Craig Reynolds 3, Pierre Strong 4. I really like Pierre Strong. I just don't know what the Browns are doing. He didn't really play last week, and it was the Jerome Ford show after Nick Chubb got hurt. Which, by the way, did you see Nick Chubb's knee exploded, and now they're like,
Yeah,
oh, he just tore his
fine.
MCL.
It's fine. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So just for this week, I would say Damian Harris, just because all these guys are looking at probably somewhere between 6 and 10 touches, and Damian Harris is getting the touches at the goal line. And so he has the biggest opportunity to score a touchdown. Yeah, I have no idea how Chubb got away with it either. It's crazy. People were talking I was legit scared. I was thinking I was talking Teddy Bridgewater, because the way they were describing it, potential arterial damage. That was the same thing they were saying about Alex Smith.
It wasn't where a knee should go. Your knee should not be there.
The knee was bent all wrong. And then they were like, oh yeah, you know how, every time a running back cuts wrong, they tear 5,000 ligaments? He tore 1. They're like, it's just the MCL. It was crazy.
Who is?
I'm super happy. I love Nick Chubb, so I'm really happy. It's just one ligament that he has to get. I'm sure once they get in there, there's probably going to be more damage, but.
And he hasn't gotten. Oh wait, they extended him, right? So he got paid. Thank God.
Yeah, I just want running backs to get paid. That's all I want.
Who is Rico Dowdle?
Rico Dowdle is the backup running back for the Cowboys. If Tony Pollard gets hurt, I think Rico Dowdle will get a lot of opportunity, but you can always just blow all your fab on Rico Dowdle if you really want to. But Rico Dowdle is much worse than Tony Pollard.
Now we're gonna play.
They're lying. Ooh, the Ruined is on Conspiracy Watch.
Now we play Go to My Big Money League and find out that this guy's taken. Rico Dowdle.
I doubtle he's available.
Thank you, Minnie P. I make people laugh without trying. That is my thing, I guess. I'll be teaching 5th graders, and all of a sudden they'll laugh, and I'm like, what? Oh, God, what's going on? This one time I was teaching, I was substituting at a private girls' high school, Catholic high school, and it turns out I sat in a fudge pop with white pants before coming in.
Damn, dude, you pooped yourself?
Yeah, and they were just laughing every time I turned around. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but it's going to be horrifically embarrassing.
Damn,
I don't
bet
know.
they mean
What?
I bet they mean girls the hell out of you for
I
that.
bet. Well, they should have. Like, I look like I pooped
Yeah,
myself, and I'm like, and
damn.
I
I
just
can't think
stopped
of
turning
anything.
around because I'm like, I don't know what's doing it. This is weird.
I can't think of anything scarier than like a all girls school, like high school, because they are mean. There was a whole movie about it, Mean Girls.
It helps.
That was a documentary.
It helps that I'm a boy.
Yeah,
They get scared of the unknown. They're like, this is unfamiliar, and then the period's over. So, okay.
I don't know, man. I work with like a bunch of 20-year-olds, and they all are just incessant bullies to all of us olds.
Okay, my mom's texting me, my 79-year-old mom, who just got into fantasy this year. She's saying she has Aaron Jones, and she's like, she could put in Myers and switch to an RB for a wide receiver. Yeah, do that. My
Yeah,
mom figures it out really fast. It's amazing how fast my mom takes to stuff for being a 79-year-old person. She's just like, I'll try fantasy, and then all of a sudden she's got lists and rankings and charts, and I'm like, whoa. Goddard or Kincaid in full PPR?
Goddard. Goddard's getting the targets. Kincaid is splitting his role with Dawson Knox, and Dawson Knox getting the end zone targets. So, I will go Goddard. I think Goddard scores today. That's based on nothing but gut.
And now she's having the problem that everybody has on Sleeper, where she's like, I'm clicking on their name, and it's not letting me swap them out. And I have to like click on the icon next to their name.
Yeah, click on their position.
Yeah,
All right,
she'll get
Nini,
it though.
enjoy dinner.
Enjoy
Enjoy
dinner in your time zone on Mars.
beans on toast.
Yeah. Uh, Green Bay. That's
Sorry, that
breakfast.
wasn't fair.
That's
That wasn't
breakfast,
fair.
dude.
Yeah.
That's breakfast. Uh, Green Bay. Speaking of the UK, Decky wants to know: Green Bay Packers, Titans, Seahawks, or Bucks this week?
I'm definitely not the Bucks because they're playing Philly. I'll go Seahawks going up against Andy Dalton. Because I've become fully on the train of it doesn't matter how good the defense is, all that matters is how bad the opponent is.
Nice. And my mom has, in fact, figured it out, and she wants me to verify, which I will. I like that my mom's into fantasy. I'm surprised it took us this long. Uh,
My mom is
yeah,
not
she did.
into fantasy, but she watches our YouTube channel, but only when I'm on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I like seeing you on my TV. It's like, okay.
Yeah, many had the same problem, and they went with Green Bay. I forget who the Packers play. Should
Green
know this
Bay is
stuff.
playing New Orleans.
I don't know.
I just feel like New Orleans, if they're bad, it's going to be not in a way that's hilarious and incompetent. Whereas the Panthers have massive, hilarious, incompetent potential.
The
I'm
Panthers could
sorry.
very easily be going down to their second string quarterback in the first quarter.
Third string quarterback. They're already on the. By the way, did you see the? Let's see. Let's play the game. Who is backing up Andy Dalton? According to our lads, that would be Jake Luton. Luton. Jake Luton free.
Um,
If Burrow doesn't go on Monday and Jake Browning gets hurt, do you know who their quarterback's going to be?
Randall Cobb.
Joe Mixon.
You
He's
know,
the
I always
emergency
root for
quarterback.
that. I always root for that, but then we saw it happen when Christian McCaffrey became quarterback in the NFC Championship game, and it
They just ran
sucked.
it.
It
They just ran
sucked.
it
It
a
was
million
not
times.
funny. Or like when Denver had to start that guy from the practice squad to like
Kendall
figure.
Hinton.
Yes, and it was not fun, and I thought it was gonna be fun.
He was like 2 for 9.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2020. I was gonna ask what year it was, but it's pretty clear what year it was. 1 for 9. I'm sorry. 1 for 9 for 13 yards passing.
Why was it pretty clear what year it was?
Because it was because of COVID.
Oh,
That year
dang,
was.
they let him throw it
You,
9 times.
you heard about COVID? It's crazy.
Now many,
Whoa! Huh?
huh? No, you have the reaction. You go.
J.C. Jackson, who is inactive today, cornerback for the Chargers. He is a healthy scratch.
Okay.
So
There's
he
story there.
made bank, and then he just was not good at it,
Okay,
apparently.
so this one's funny. Mini P says Steelers at Las Vegas or Miami versus Dolphins. Then they correct themselves to say Miami versus Dolphins again.
What? I would say Miami versus Denver is probably what the I'll go with the Steelers just because I've seen enough Jimmy Garoppolo to know that this could be a bad Jimmy Garoppolo game.
He does not do well when there's a lack of time, and the Steelers definitely put a clock on the quarterback.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. How's your Phoenix League?
All right, what?
The league that burned down and then somehow rose from its own ashes in the matter of a week?
Oh, it's fine. I got the most devastating text from my buddy in that league because it's a dynasty league now. He said, "We're both tanking this year, right?" I am not tanking this year. But I'm 2-0. He traded the guy who texted me that. Hold on. The first trade of the year, the first trade of this dynasty league, because people didn't realize they could trade during the draft. Hold on. The first trade was Chris Godwin, Justin Fields, and Jaquan Brisker, because it's still an IDP league, for Sam Laporta and 2 first-round picks, because it's a super flex. I think that's a pretty good trade.
So Minnie has a question about kicker. There's a Deku. Sorry, I'm off the screen right now. Sorry, Deku has a question about kickers. And what I'm going to answer for Jeff here, and you can correct me, but I know what you're going to say. When you're wondering between kickers, go to the Vegas over-under and pick the one with the highest over-under for the game. You just want to go with high scores.
In the leagues where I have kickers, except for Scott Fishbowl, because I actually invested in a kicker in that league, I would go to the free agent pool, and then I would say show my team, and then I would sort by projected points, and then I would start whichever kicker was on top. If that was my kicker, cool. If it wasn't, cool. I do not particularly worry about kickers. They are random number generators. Evan's strategy is probably more sound.
I'm popping you a link here, Deku.
My wife texted me, they are puppy timing so hard, Frankie barreled into the sliding door. All right.
What is puppy timing?
Puppy time is where the younger dog goes absolutely ape shit and like barks at the older dog until she starts to play with them, and then they go crazy.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, they're playing.
Uh-huh. I can't honestly, gun to my head, I couldn't tell you who any of those kickers play for, Deku. That's why I'm not really weighing in with something more concrete other than a link.
Yeah.
I just pick a kicker and then I start them because I'm into fantasy football for the fantasy, not the, let me check win conditions and figure out if they're playing in a dome and figure out the over under. I just start my kicker, whatever. Give me 4 points, give me 12, I don't care.
This is why ban the kicker.
Yeah, and most of my leagues have, and all the leagues I commission do.
Yeah, no kickers. Except for Jake Moody. He's the only kicker allowed.
What's going on with the chat? Oh, somebody put something in moderation to the Discord, so I have to go check that out.
Uh-oh.
Our Discord is fire these days. Did you see? Do you ever go there, moderation?
I do not go on Discord. I'm too old man for it. I can't handle the speed
fire,
of it.
dude. And
I went in there and I panicked. I deleted Discord off of my phone because it was killing my battery too.
Oh, you can just turn off notifications. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Then just run it. Oh, a moderator is celebrating how positive people are. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Better than yesterday, where somebody posted a trade for advice, and the other team, not them, the other team was listed as their team name is the Carolina Tar Babies. and we're like,
Ooh,
do we probate you for this other person's team name or what? Because that's not cool. Don't post that.
yeah.
Like, we eventually
I,
just flamed the other team. We're like, that dude's pathetic. Like, you should fleece them in whatever trade you come up with.
the only acceptable team name is I'm Njoku, baby. That's the only acceptable team name.
I like Tua, Infinity, and Bijan. That's my favorite this
By
year. That's AK Magic who's in chat. Shout out to
by
AK
the
Magic.
oh, that was AK Magic. That was a
Yeah,
really great team name.
yeah,
I was pretty
that's my
happy
favorite.
every time that came up in the auction.
And I forget who it was, but someone posted a team with Jackson Smith Njigba and Darren Waller, and they're like team name, and someone came up with "Don't go Jason Waller Falls," and I'm like, wow, you spun that out of nothing. Good job.
There you go. I'm
Good
doing it
stuff.
again, Evan.
What?
I'm 2-0 in Football Absurdity Experts. I'm doing it again.
Oh, nice.
I'm doing it again. I'm coming for everybody.
Did you win last year, or did Waleed win? Because it's never anyone
Uh,
else.
let me see. Did I win last year? Let's look at league
Only
history.
you and Waleed, except for 1 year, like 5 years ago.
Oh, this doesn't get reset every year. Oh my god. Gotta continue the league. Make it easy. Let's see. Football Absurdity Experts. I won. I won last year.
There's a question in the wrong room in chat that I'm just going to go ahead and put it in here because it's the Discord.
No, not allowed.
Uh, Atwell or Marquise Brown?
Hollywood.
Yeah, that's. I'm
Dang,
just.
I won starting in the finals. Juju Smith-Schuster, Cade Otton, and Gardner Minshew, who combined for like 23 points. How did I do that? That's impressive. That's impressive, me.
That's a brutal league. That
Oh, I
is
forgot I do this thing where when I'm not going to start any more guys, I just cut everybody and I add a bunch of random players. So I'm like, why is Mitch Trubisky, Josh Oliver, Thad Moss, Kwame Lassiter II, John Mechie, and Debo Samuel? Oh, John Mechie was my good vibes pick, and then Debo Samuel I picked up so I could have him on my roster when I won.
nice. Kevin Stefanski did a presser. um, he said today's matchup with the Titans could be sloppy, and he needs a full-throated effort from the fans.
Sir,
Sir, I- just Lord, why is he called Hollywood Brown? Well, let me Google that for you.
well, let's see. Why is Marquis? I've already Googled it. Brown arrived at Oklahoma with the nickname Jet, but has since been referred to more often as Hollywood. The moniker comes from Fox College broadcaster Gus Johnson, who started calling Brown Hollywood because of his hometown of Hollywood, Florida, and his explosiveness with the Sooners. So it was
Oh,
Gus
he's
Johnson,
from Hollywood. Okay.
one
Uh,
of the goats.
Tajay Spears, Charbonnet, or Tony?
Mm, ignore that noise I made.
I will not.
Um, Kadarius Toney could have anywhere between 1 and 51 fantasy points.
I kind of want to be on the Tajay Spears train.
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
like
It's not
hotness.
Charbonnet. I declared Charbonnet handcuff only because he's played
Charbonnet's
fewer.
just one of my toolbox bench guys where I'm like, I'll see you
Yeah,
in December. You just sit here on my bench and don't cause any trouble.
1 week Tajay, long term Charbonnet, just not Tone.
Yeah, I can't handle that. The amount of pain from people had from Tony on opening
This
night.
dude said. This dude said Tajay. Tajay Spears.
What's his
It's
name? Sorry.
Tajay.
Tajay. My bad.
Tyj.
I don't like getting multicultural names wrong. That's a big picadillo for me. So I appreciate the correction.
I panicked because Walker said Puka Nacua, and Walker is so on top of things. I was like, have I been saying it wrong? But no, it was Walker who was wrong. Walker said, I don't know, I guessed.
Someone wants to know, is Jamaal Williams droppable?
Um,
I think it depends on league size.
10 team, yeah. I'm considering it in a 12 team league. So I'd say 10 team, yeah. He's on IR he's missing at least the next 4 games. Alvin Kamara comes back next week. Kendre Miller could Wally Pip Jamaal Williams. So,
Yeah.
and
J-
I'm going to open an adult beverage because kids don't like bubble water. That's the only reason it's an adult beverage.
Bubble water is the best, man. JJ Keats is asking the question everyone is asking: waiver wire quarterback or trust Burrow for Monday night?
Go get Matthew Stafford off your waiver wire.
That's what my mom did. I'm so proud of her.
Go get Matthew Stafford off your waiver wire, and then if Burrow can't go, there you go. You're good
And
to
if
go.
Matthew Stafford's not on your waiver wire, should they get Browning?
No. If Matthew Stafford, well, who's the other Monday night game?
The Bucks, isn't it?
Let's see.
I don't know. I need to look at
Podcast notes disrespectful. I still don't know why we call our podcast notes disrespectfully.
It's the Bucks in Philadelphia. So you could get yourself some Maker Bayfield and have some fun.
Yeah, go see if Jalen Hurts is on your waiver wire. Yeah. I would say go snag. Okay, so here's the thing about the Monday night games is they're staggered by an hour. So the injury report has to come out 90 minutes before kickoff. So if you're on top of your game, you can go get Baker Mayfield. If Matthew Stafford isn't available, and you can swap him out because his game will start after the Joe Burrow injury report.
You'll have a 30-minute window.
You'll have a 30-minute window. I would set a timer though, just to be certain if that's what you're doing. But otherwise, you can just swap in Matt Stafford.
Mike Valverde, welcome to the chat, wants to know something.
Yeah, why do we call our podcast notes disrespectfully? I don't know, Mike. I don't remember why we did that. I'm going to say podcast notes with all the respect in the world. I'm changing the name. Oh, you know why? It was so that I put a random word in there so that I could just look it up by that in my history. So I just type in disrespectful and it comes up. It was initially respectfully, and then I think Walker or Mike, one of the two, was being a little shit. Mike. And I changed it to disrespectfully because they were disrespecting me.
Plus, like, it's fun to root for Baker Mayfield right now.
Baker Mayfield in his underdog era is a lot of fun to root for.
Yeah. He's not on TV all the time. He's just slanging it. It's cool. It's prime Mayfield. Speaking of prime, he lost 42-6.
Oh boy, I don't follow college football.
The only two things I follow are I watch the Ohio State games, and Deion Sanders took over the 1-11 Colorado Buffaloes, dismissed 75% of the staff, brought his son on as quarterback, and started 3-0 and got into the top 25 rankings. And then they went up against a good team, Oregon, and Oregon's just like, we are going to teach you humility, and ran up the score.
Oregon's like, we're a real football program.
Yeah. The coach had a great speech. He's like, this game isn't taking place in Hollywood. It's taking place on the field, and that's where we crushed.
Yeah, I can't watch college football just because I spend so much time devoted to the NFL that I'm like, I need a day off from football.
Yeah.
And even then, I wrote yesterday and I edited yesterday. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah, my mom and I watched the Ohio State game yesterday, and she kept asking me questions like, "Who's that? Is that a catch? What are they doing?" And I was like, "I don't know. I have no idea the college football rules. I do not know anything. I will never have an answer for you." JJ Keats needs to drop Roshan for Stafford. Can you just float it and pick him up at the last minute, or do you bench players lock?
Yeah, if bench players don't lock, then you could float it.
Especially because no one's picking up Mayfield. So you always have that pivot.
Yeah.
But if you want to know who you should drop, list your players, please.
Yeah, if you want to list your players, we'll go through. Dang, yeah. These little thumbnails work. We're in the middle of a stream and I'm like, ooh, this video looks good, and I almost clicked on it while I'm in the middle of the stream. Let's just stream the Hoosiers on our channel. It's free with ads.
Can we watch party that?
Huh?
If we're allowed to stream watch parties on Amazon Prime.
Really?
Yeah. But unfortunately, Thursday Night Football is not a watch party. Okay, they listed their bench is Waddle, RIP, Hopkins, Freiermuth, Addison, Meyers, Gainwell, Roshan, JT. Who's your starting tight end?
Yeah, it might be Freiermuth. Might be the move
Yeah, if you
here.
come with like a top 3 tight end, it's Freiermuth. Hunter Henry
Ooh,
Hippos.
no, I wouldn't trust that long term. Um, what platform do you play on? Can you lock? I mean, do bench players lock when their game starts? Because if they do, then you have to make that call right now. And I would say, okay, so bench players lock.
Okay.
God,
Is Myers, is that keepable? Can we drop Myers?
I would. It's honestly it's down to Freiermuth or Myers for me, not Roshan. I just
Yeah.
don't want to. I'm very reticent to drop running backs, especially because you're down
Yeah.
JT already, which
Yeah.
means that you need that running back depth to potentially pop off.
And the wheels are falling off Chicago. All they need is for one running back wheel to fall off, and Roshan's there, looking good.
Honestly, this is a tough call. I would probably go Freiermuth. He's upper blob, but I think Hunter Henry's moved himself into upper blob. And the thing about the blob is like they're mostly interchangeable. So
Yeah.
this is gonna hurt no matter who you drop, but I would say probably just to play it safe, you're gonna have to go with Freiermuth. Because
Yeah.
nobody knows if Joe Burrow's playing tomorrow.
Nope. Not even his mom. We're kind of getting to the end of the stream. If anyone has any last minute questions they want to pop in.
Good
Uh,
luck, JJ Keats, by the way.
yeah,
I
good
hope
luck.
that you don't need to use Stafford and that this was all for naught, but it's something you have to do because you can't risk the zero at quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And Stafford's an okay pivot. Honestly, there's been worse pivots. Like
Stafford's
Browning.
due for a bunch. Stafford's due for like 303 game because he's thrown for 310 or more yards in each of his first 2 games. He has 1 dang touchdown.
Huh.
Did Jamar Chase say that Joe Burrow wasn't playing? I haven't seen that. Uh-oh. We have Jamar Chase. Guesses. Okay. Team split on Ailing Star playing per reports. No boy. Jamar Chase doesn't think he's playing. But I got to see what Irv Smith has to say about it. Feeling better, not as sore, time heals, so we'll see. That's what Joe Burrow said. Yeah, I think it's up in the air. I think we won't know until tomorrow. Burrow has been playing like crap. Problem is that Joe Burrow should probably not have been playing with his injury, but they didn't want to start Jake Browning, and now they're in a hole, and the Bengals could collapse this year. Be very interesting to see what happens.
And now I'm realizing I have to do the Aaron Jones dance. I did not do it.
So what?
The Aaron Jones dance.
Aaron Jones
Swapping
has
him
a
out.
dance? Oh, that dance. I was like, Aaron Jones has a dance?
I have a dance. It's called swapping him out.
Aaron Jones rules because he goes on Twitter and he name searches himself.
So does
Melvin
AJ
Gordon.
McCarron.
AJ McCarron. Ooh, I wish he was good so we could call him AJ McLaren, but yeah, blocked all the football absurdity guys because
He accidentally retweeted.
what I loved about that article was that article had one read when he blocked us. So that means one person read the AJ McCarron article and it was AJ McCarron. So all right. Any last minute starter sits?
Yeah, we'll give it one more minute and then we'll go. Hopefully I'm not. Oops, starting a guy. Cam Akers is out. Okay, that's. Of course he's out.
Pick up Browning now. Huh?
Oh, no, you go.
I was going to say, why is Cam Akers on your team? First of all, why is Cam Akers on your team?
This is a dynasty league. I never check.
You stream with the world's most foremost Cam Akers hater. Thanks, OJ. Good luck to you too. Pick up Browning now in a super flex, or is he likely Zach Wilson type quality quarterback? I personally would rather start there. He's probably looking at like, if you're in a PPR league, he's probably looking at like wide receiver 3, running back 3 numbers, like, or wide receiver 3, running back 2 numbers, like 13 points, I would say. So if you're staring down like starting a tight end in your flex spot, sure, go get Browning. But I mean, he's not very good.
Yeah,
Like,
he's not going to become hot.
yeah, he's not, and if he has a big game, like if you're not starting him this week, there's no guarantee he plays next week. But I also understand the need to go get any quarterback that's going to get snaps, because that's just kind of how it goes,
Yeah.
in a super flex league. So you could pick him up. I wouldn't say that you should spend any sort of real capital on him. If you're
Yeah.
going to start him, there's honestly a lot of guys I would rather start.
Yeah, I would
Especially
not pick him
because
up for your bench.
Yeah, especially because what if Joe Burrow plays? Then you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, I have to pivot to Irv Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, and Irv Smith's not even playing. I have to pivot to, I don't even know who their backup tight end is. Our lads. I like how every stream at the very end, it's me looking up who backups are. Let's see. It is Drew Sample.
The Ruined wants to know, pick up Shaheed off waivers and drop Burks, or just play Burks and pray?
I really like Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed is a key part of that offense, and the Titans are, I don't know what they're doing.
So it sounds like your answer is Shaheed.
I'm going to defer to Walker.
Okay.
Burks is not ranked, and Shaheed is wide receiver 50.
All right, Shaheed it is. Good luck.
But he is wide receiver 50.
My God. Out of 50, by the way. Walker only
Out of
ranks the top
50.
50.
Yep, Walker ranks the top 50 at running back and wide receiver, top 25 at quarterback and tight end. It's a top of the page at footballabsurdity.com weekly ranks button. And Walker's tight end 25 this week, Tyler Conklin.
Tyler Conklin.
Yep, one spot ahead of Pat Fryermuth, Durham Smythe, Juwan Johnson. Let's see. Let's play another string game of shit on Jeff's desk. I don't know what the Titans are doing either. Yeah, I don't think the Titans even know what the Titans are doing. Here, let's see what this is. This is a copy of Ballistic X versus Sever. From during the height of the pandemic, my buddy and I did a bad action movie podcast, and we watched Ballistic X versus Sever.
That's
in
the
this
worst
movie.
titled movie I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, the best part about it is in this movie, Antonio Banderas is a doctor, but they never bring it up. He has a PhD. When they look at his file, he says that he has a PhD, but they never call him doctor. Let's see what else I got. Samurai Cop, also from the Bad Action Movie podcast. On the back, it says katana, noun, Japanese sword. Movie rips.
What was the worst bad movie you watched in that streak?
The worst bad movie, honestly, probably Independence Day Resurgence.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because some of the movies were really bad, but they had a charm to them. Blood Rain was pretty bad. LAPD to Protect and Serve was not great. We watched a bunch of movies by this guy called Ron Marchini.
Never heard of it.
Ron Marchini, he lives in Stockton, California, and he makes these movies where he accidentally sides with the communist freedom fighters against the U.S. government. But he's so dumb, he doesn't realize that that's what he's doing, I think. Because he's a stand for the flag guy.
Huh.
No, actually the worst one we did was, what is it called? Against the Dark. Against the Dark was a zombie action movie starring Steven Seagal because he was on all the stuff, but he's in it for like 5 minutes.
What made it the worst?
Because it was really, really just like nothing great about it. Like no redeeming factors at all. The best one we probably did. Oh no, wait, The Assignment. That was the worst one.
Tell me more.
No, you have to just go watch The Assignment.
No.
Hold on. Let me put it this way. We were not sure watching this movie. We had a probably 25-minute long discussion how to express the gender identity of Michelle Rodriguez in this movie. Because Michelle Rodriguez starts this movie as a man and did full frontal nudity as a man. Which... and then a doctor kidnaps him and does forced gender reassignment surgery.
This sounds horrible.
This movie was so bad that we had to create standards for what movies we chose. After
Michelle,
that.
you see Michelle Rodriguez's penis?
Yes.
Oh my God. Deku, the news about Jonathan Taylor, I think, is that they were comfortable letting Deion Jackson go and bringing in Trey Sermon.
Sermon, so fancy.
That shows me they have confidence in Jonathan Taylor's return. Because Trey Sermon,
I think that Trey Sermon.
Tracer Man.
Tracer Man? You think he can draw, but actually his talent is just putting a piece of paper over other drawings. He's Tracer Man.
And
let's see.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Nothing. I was going to make a full frontal nudity joke, but probably not.
Let's see what I got here today. I got Denver at Miami. That's my one game. I got New Orleans, Green Bay early. And the game of the week. Oh my God. The game of the week is Chicago and Kansas City. Oh boy.
Oh, I'll see what I have.
I can tell you what you have. You have Carolina, Seattle late as your CBS single game. Your Fox early is, huh?
How do you know this?
Magic. Your early is New Orleans at Green Bay, and your late is Chicago at Kansas City. It's because I go to 506sports.com and they have coverage maps.
Wow. You are absolutely right. Wow, nice job. Fun party trick.
Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh at Vegas. All right. Do we have any more questions?
Nope. I think it's a good time to end it. Good luck, everyone. Post in our Discord. Remember that no matter whether you win or lose, you enjoyed games more because of fantasy, so we all win.
That's not true at all.
Any last words, Jeff?
Don't watch The Assignment.
I'm not going to.
If you're gonna watch one movie from our action movie podcast, go watch Guns Akimbo, starring Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe.
He picked some good vehicles. I liked him in Swiss Army Man.
This one is chaos. It's pure chaos. So
go
watch that one.
And see you in the Discord. Bye, everybody.